Hi, Scrappy friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Try It Tuesday, where I go out into the creative memories world. I find some kind of inspiration and I bring it back to you guys here. Give it a try, see what it looks like when it's finished, in the hopes that you'll give the project a try as well. And remember, you can always use the techniques shown with other materials. It doesn't have to be the actual products that I'm using today. I am going to create this border right here. So this is currently posted on the blog. However, I did foresee it on some marketing material and I thought, oh, I was for sure going to make this one. I just think it's so beautiful and the technique that I'm going to show is super fabulous. So I hope that you agree. When I first saw this in the marketing material, I also saw this sketch here, which is one that I did over on my Facebook group last Wednesday for Workshop Wednesday. So if you want to see how that one is created, hop on over to my Facebook group. If you're not already following me on Facebook, there's always a link in all my videos down below. So go ahead, go over there, check it out. Mine is slightly different than what they show here because there were no directions. And if you've already seen that video, you know. But I like the way mine came out. So. And then my goal is to show future videos, whether here on YouTube or on Facebook, but I really want to show videos where I'm actually using both borders. So back here on my desk, this is the paper I'm going to use for this border. It's the new Creative Memories Golden Harvest collection. And I'm going to primarily use papers from the designer paper pack with one paper that came from the Golden Harvest Tone on Tone paper pack. Okay, so if you want to play along, go ahead and grab your papers. These are the papers that are used in this border, and this is the one that came from the Tone on Tone pack. These other three came from the designer paper pack. Okay, we will also need our border making system with the pyramid keyhole cartridge. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring in my 12-inch trimmer and we'll get some paper cut. We'll start with the orange leafy paper. The backside is the cute pumpkins. And in fact, I do want to make sure that I want to keep my pumpkins horizontal. So when I cut this, I want to make sure that I'm cutting my pumpkins the right direction so I can use it later on. Okay, so for the first piece, the orange piece, we want to cut a 4-inch by 12-inch piece. And then we'll move on to the red. The red, we're going to cut a 3.5-inch piece. Now I am substituting this red for the red that's shown in the original photo because I have already used that red and I didn't have a big enough piece left. So I need a 3.5-inch piece. And then the yellow piece, we want just a small piece of this one. Always checking the back to make sure it's not a directional piece that I need to be aware of. And for this one, we need a 1 3/4 by 12-inch strip. And then lastly, the green piece, we need a 2-inch piece of this. We'll just put the paper trimmer aside. We'll just need it back in here in a moment. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the orange leafy paper and bring in our border making cartridge. Again, it's the pyramid keyhole. For this one, we are going to punch along both sides of this 4-inch strip. I'll put you on fast forward, but I just wanted to make sure to note that we are going to do both sides. Okay, let me just put this aside. And while we have our punch out, we are going to do the same thing to the red 3.5-inch paper. We're going to punch both sides. Okay, so again, I'll put you on fast forward, but just know we're going to go ahead and do the technique to both sides. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and we are done with our border making system. So we'll put that aside. And then let's go ahead and start assembling our border. We'll start with the orange leafy print and we'll put that down first. And then we're going to adhere the green 2-inch strip right on top like that. And then on top of the green is the yellow like that. And now we're going to bring our red back in. Slide this one out of the way for a moment. We're going to bring back in our trimmer, and this time we're going to swap our blade out for the scoring blade, which is this orange one. Okay, with our scoring blade in, we want to score this at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to measure on this side of the board and make sure that the top of the keyhole is on that 3/4 inch line. Okay, bring it down and score it, and then turn it around and do the same thing. Okay, before I forget, let's go ahead and put our blade back in. Put our scoring blade back underneath. So now we just want to fold on our score line. Fold it over. Press it down a little bit. And same thing on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to bring in my repositional tape runner. So this is our end result once we fold it over and adhere it down. The green leafy print from the other side comes through over here. Now we're ready to get this embellished. So let's pull in the stickers. For this border, we just need the border strips and a couple of our embellishments. We're going to use this wood log die cut that says "Let's Grow Old Together" and one of the leaves. Let's first take the sticker, the border sticker off, and we're going to place this one right down the middle of the keyhole. Okay, so this project is not working out quite as I had planned, and I want to explain a few things here. So I followed exactly the directions that were on the blog. I scored it at 3/4 of an inch, and when I folded it over, it looks like this. Now on the blog, it says that the keyholes are supposed to overlap each other, and mine do not. So if you're following along and you want to make this border, I recommend that instead of scoring at 3/4 of an inch, that you score it at 7/8 of an inch. So if you're using a 3.5 inch wide piece of red paper, then you should score that at 7/8. When you fold that over, it will overlap. Okay, so let me bring in another one. So I paused the video to make sure I was correct about this, and it will look something like this. Another thing I learned while I was discovering why mine didn't overlap is that, well, first of all, I folded my paper the wrong direction. The red should be up like this. But paper choice does matter, because I thought, oh, I'm just going to swap out the red for the red. And I wasn't really thinking ahead of myself that when I did that and I folded over the red, it's white showing underneath, whereas original red paper that they suggest is brown on the other side. So I only have a 3-inch scrap of this left, but I am going to get rid of both of these and I'm going to try it again on this red feather paper, even though it's a little smaller, which means that when it sits on top of here, it's going to be much thinner. But I'm going to see how I like that once we're done. Okay, so back to the original plan. Okay, we will try and score this one more time. Now, since I shortened mine, or since I'm using a scrap, I am going to score it at 3/4 of an inch. I should get a really good overlap using that amount. Okay, Now let's go ahead and fold this over. And we'll put our repositionable tape. Okay, so you'll see I'm getting a much better overlap this time. So let me go ahead and put the repositional tape on, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Definitely a nice overlap on this one. Of course, it's much narrower than it probably should be. So when I put it on here, I'm going to see a lot more exposed area of the yellow. Okay, I could go back and trim that and change that if I want, but I'd have to trim the yellow, the green, and somehow shorten the orange, which we punched out. So probably not going to do all that. Just going to enjoy it the way it is, and I'm sure it's going to be lovely. So now let's bring in our border strip. You'll see I've already tried playing with this, and we're going to go ahead and lay it down on the center of the border. There, that is really pretty. Once it's on our border here, it's going to look gorgeous. Yeah, I like it. I do like it, even though I have a lot more yellow exposed than I probably would normally like, but it's nice. Okay, so let's get the rest of it embellished. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So we're going to need one of the yellow leaf that has a little bit of gold foiling. We need that one from the embellishment pack, and then we need this orange sticker from the sticker sheet. And then you can just layer them up however you like. And we're going to adhere that right to the border. I'm going to use my regular adhesive for this, just because it'll be a little bit stronger of a hold. And I'm going to lay that just gently down there, and then take this wood piece that says "Let's Grow Old Together," which I've already popped up onto some foam tape to save me a little bit of time. And it's going to go just like that on the border. So there we go. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. I like it. This was probably the first time since I've been doing the Try It Tuesday that I've had a little bit of a hiccup while I was creating it, but I wanted to keep that in there and show you. I need to go over and let Creative Memories know that their blog has a little bit of an error on it, but I still think it's a very usable border. I think I can use it. It's pretty, and I'm still going to use it in my album. So I do hope that you go out and give this a try, or at least try that technique of folding it over, because it does create a whole different look on the border. Using the same cartridge that we used on the outside, it looks completely different when you fold it and put it on the inside. So I do hope that you go out and give this a try. Now that we know the measurements, I hope that you have better luck than I do. So thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.